Labyrinth walking really is in a lot of traditions, it's a spiritual practice. It's a kind of meditation, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and what I found is that it's an externalization of the internal journey that's being taken, and to me, it's a perfect blend because taking the steps that you're taking to get to the center and then back out again forces you to slow down and be meditative in your walking, particularly on uneven ground like this is. And the other part, and why we arrived at this particular design for here, was through some experimentation I'd done in working with large groups in labyrinths, which was ultimately we landed on a 7-ring 6-circuit labyrinth is what this is modeled on, and it's the Abingdon design, and it's a medieval design. And I found over experimentation with large groups of people doing them around the country that it's the largest labyrinth you can do where people feel it's a true journey before they want to cheat and cut across it. And so I've done more elaborate ones and I've done less elaborate ones. And the smaller ones, people sort of got there quickly and got out, and it wasn't as much of an impact on them. And the larger ones, you would see them getting fatigued and actually wanting to cut across the paths. So we arrived at this through multiple years of experimentation.
And on Spirit Night, you really, really do this place up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's really important to us, that, you know, the labyrinth exists year-round, of course, but to have a very specific time. I think Sirius Rising over the 3 decades has become, in a way, New Year's for a lot of people. It's a resetting of the year, and having the elemental focus is beautiful, and then Spirit at the end of the year before the big celebration on Saturday is one way for us where we can honor all the different elements, kind of like in this version here where we have the elemental stations around. And it's important not just for us in our group, but so many people from the community actually participate. So they like to, you know, help with the luminaries. They like to help with just little pieces. So we create, like, you know, we at home we kind of come up with what do we want to do this year, what is the theme, what do we want it to look like, then other people can, you know, participate, and therefore it's really a nice culmination at the end of the week before the big celebration on Saturday to have a lot of folks included. And every year we kind of, you know, when we had our elemental themes, certain things pop up. So this year we included kind of nods back to 4 previous elements. Those are the different altars. And so each year we get to play a little bit and have installations that we come up with and then include everybody, which is really fantastic because folks really enjoy it, and not just the walking but also the participation in creating this thing for the community together.
Yeah, you talk about playing a little bit. I still have the pictures that I took of you contact juggling that ball in the center of the labyrinth years and years and years ago. Yeah, and that was one of the things I liked about this. This could be deadly serious, but I and you too, Ciaran, I've noticed that in my interactions with you around the labyrinth, you know, you have a little fun.
Yeah. It's important to have fun with it because you're right, it can be very serious, and people often, and even just today driving around, they tell us about how they were moved and often break into tears, and they're processing very heavy things sometimes. So to keep the levity, we have a sort of a running joke, don't laugh in church, but of course we're all laughing in church, if you will, because we need that levity to balance what occurs naturally anyway when people are processing stuff in a meditation state.
Something a little more general. Sirius Rising itself, how long have you been involved?
So my first year at Brushwood was Sirius Rising's first year. So I witnessed the first and have been part of it ever since, and I think within a couple of years I was pulled onto the visioning team with you and everyone else and started participating in orchestrating how it went. So it's been the longest commitment that I've been of any sort of creative spiritual process in my entire life.
What about you, Margaret? Is it the same amount of time, or?
No, I'm a newbie. This is only my 24th year.
Oh.
So, but I always joke this is my longest existing relationship of my entire life that I have with a place and with people, and it's absolutely, like, it truly is a homecoming for everybody, including myself, every year.